So, what is a health savings account? A HSA? Well, it can be used for more than just health and more than just medical expenses. Um, it is actually a tax advantaged savings account, very similar to your 401k, that can be used for medical expenses or retirement. And here is how it works. Just like you contribute into your 401k right out of your paycheck, you would contribute to an HSA, usually through your employer. Or if you're self employed, you can also have an HSA that way. The HSA is tied to a high deductible health plan. So it doesn't make sense for everybody. But if it makes sense for you in your current health status and your family status, it might make sense to go ahead and contribute to an HSA once you see all these benefits that it does offer. So, again, take a look at your individual unique situation to see if contributing into an HSA actually does work for you and your family. So, it's triple tax deductible, right? It is a triple tax benefit, actually, in other words. What is deductible is you have contributions that are going in, just like your 401k, that are tax deductible. So we'll call those tax free contributions. It is tax free growth. So just like a tax deferred 401k or an IRA that grows on a tax free basis, that's how the HSA works. So you'll never be taxed on the growth as long as it stays in that health savings account. And we'll talk in just a minute about how does an HSA grow on top of the contributions that you're going to be putting in out of your paychecks. Um, it's also you can get tax-free withdrawals, and here's how you do tax-free withdrawals is by using your HSA card for medical expenses. And that's how this is going to be a triple tax benefit, a type of account that's really unlike any other account that's out there. Um, Tax deductible contributions. How much can you do, right? How much are you allowed to contribute into this? And it's actually indexed for inflation, usually on an annual basis. So what that means is you can always contribute a little bit more year over year if the IRS has decided that there's going to be an indexed for inflation if that has been implemented. In 2025, our current year, if you are on the plan just by yourself, you can contribute to $4,300. And if you have a family on the plan, on that health savings account, that high deductible health plan that's tied to it, then you can contribute $8,550. If you're over the age of 55, you can do a catch up contribution, just like with your 401k, where you can do additional contributions. You can do the same thing here. So once you're 55, you are able to, with an HSA, put in another $1,000 to kind of beef up that HSA, if you will, because once you're 65 and you're on Medicare, you actually cannot contribute to an HSA anymore. That's off the table. But if you do take withdrawals for non medical expenses, well, not only will you see taxes, but you also have a penalty that needs to be paid. So the IRS is pretty stringent with telling us this is for your health needs. This account, if you're not 65, if you're younger than 65, this is for your health needs because if you do use this for anything other than your medical purposes, and that could be over the counter drugs, you can look it up. You can look it up and see what is covered there. It could be dental appointments, it could be well visits, copays, things like that you can use this card for. But then once you use it for something that's non medical, be aware that you do have that penalty. Now, here's the good news. Once you reach 65, you can celebrate because not only will you be on Medicare, but now you can use that HSA just like a 401k. You can use that for anything. And why I say just like a 401k is because if you take money out, it will be taxable. So again, that triple tax benefit will not apply. That third benefit, tax free withdrawal, is only true for medical expenditures. But if you do want to take it out once you're 65 for some other reasons, to cover some other expenses, then you will pay taxes like you would a 401k. So it's as if you had been saving all this while into a 401k. Number one thing is that you have money in the account to cover your deductible for your high deductible health plan. A nice cushion is always good. You must have that money readily available so that you can meet your deductible. But there might be unused money, especially a couple of years down the road when you have been contributing into this for a couple of years. What do you do with, well, a sizable amount of money that's over your deductible needs? What can you do with those? Well, you can invest. And that's really a tip that I want to give you today, is that you can invest beyond your deductible into, more than likely, mutual funds. And again, I'm going to keep talking about the 401k because this is also a very similar type of setup. Remember, these are payroll deductions going into an account, and more than likely, you'll have an option to choose from mutual funds. So set up a basket of different investments, right? You can do a basket of different mutual funds, some bonds, some stocks, and really figure out what your allocation should be based on the timeline of when you may need those funds. If it is funds that you will absolutely need and may want to tap into for a major surgery or something that's not covered by insurance, but it is a clear medical necessity, a clear medical expense, right? Then you may want to be more conservative into this type of fund. You may want to do a money market fund. It may just want to sit in a fixed account. So speak with your advisor about that, right? And take a look and see. But what the key giveaway or takeaway, I guess, here is that money above your deductible amount can be invested. You see, so you can pick, just like your 401k, a way for you to see tax free growth beyond the contributions that you put in. You can have this account really grow, and have money grow on money. And that's called compounding, right? You've probably heard that before, but that's the power of investing, is, just having that HSA sit in cash. You're going to miss out on what might be years and years of compound interest, compound investing. And so that's one reason that if you have an HSA, take a little closer look at that account. It's not just for healthcare. It could really be a great retirement tool as well. And this is the slide as to why we're looking at this as an investment account as well. You can only use your HSA. Let's really narrow this down for qualified medical expenses if you're not quite 65 years old, because otherwise you're going to pay that penalty that we already talked about. So doctor's visits, prescriptions, the things that you see here on this screen. And let's just kind of review this again, that if you're younger than 65, I can't stress this enough, this isn't just a credit card. This isn't just, a debit card. This is going to be an HSA card that is tied to hefty, hefty penalties. So best not contribute too much into an HSA if you don't have an emergency fund set up already that you're using for things that are non-medical. So investing in an HSA, just like a 401k, if you're investing, truly picking mutual funds, it should be intentionally done. And it's for the long term. Those mutual funds, if you pick some aggressive allocation, are going to be invested in the markets, and you will see that balance go down. So again, keep enough in the fixed account, keep enough in the reserve cash account that you are able to cover your medical expenses. That's very important. So think about your goals and your family's needs. So here's really what an HSA might look like today for a lot of you. It's a small boat. It works, right? It helps you It helps you get your medical expenses covered. And I think that's great. That's already a fantastic start. But what if you could change that HSA over time with compound effect um, into this sizable vessel, right? How fantastic would that be? And you can't contribute to an HSA once you're 65 and on Medicare. So if you are in your 50s and your 40s, there is time. Every dollar you can put in an HSA now can continue to grow for you in that way. And then you could use your HSA to help pay for your Medicare premiums. That's one way to see the benefit of an HSA is beef it up now, right? And let it grow for the long run. So when we do get to that fine age of 65, that we're able to maybe use that to help pay for our premiums for Medicare. Um, so start early, right? Stay consistent with those contributions and be aware of the indexed amounts that do go up year over year. And just be sure to log into your payroll system at work and find out that you are contributing the max if it makes sense in your overall plan to do so. And again, that goes up every year. So you might, if let's say you don't look at it for 5 years straight, you may actually be missing out on another $1,000 that you could have been putting away, over this last year if that was indexed for inflation. Not a guarantee that that will go up, but the amount that you can contribute usually does increase at about the pace of an annual basis. Just like the 401k contributions tend to go up steadily as well, you want to take a look at these two so that we don't just set it and forget it kind of thing with the HSA, that we do take a look at it and make sure that we're doing what it is that we can. So, and then invest if you can to let your money do some work, right? Let's have your money work for you. So, well, thank you. And if you do have questions on HSAs, I'm happy to hop on a Zoom call with you. We can take a look at what kind of HSA you have at work and where your two buckets are, what's in cash, and just kind of talk about your overall plan and see if it works for you to perhaps invest more than what you have in a cash position, more than what your deductible is at least. So, thank you.